All right, guys, if you thought I was kidding, I'm not. Tow truck's here and they are taking it away. Out of control, man. So 2.5 years after I bought it, turns out it's stolen. Hopefully I can get that back.
Are we on the air?
Ruh-roh. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, today we're just kind of sitting out in the back here, reflecting on what happened yesterday. As you guys can see from the thumbnail, apparently I bought a stolen car. I know you guys, those of you guys have been around for a while, seen the car on my channel, know that I bought the car 2 years ago. It's been registered to me for 2 years. So I'll go back and start at the beginning. Bought the car on Facebook Marketplace. Was scrolling around one day looking at Volkswagens, and this one popped up real local to me, like 10 minutes up the road. I lived in Lake Elsinore at the time, and the car was for sale in Corona. So I hit the guy up. I'll show the ad right here. So guy had the car listed for sale for $2,700. I was kind of relentless, wanting to go look at it. Guy said he didn't have the car on him. It was at his uncle's place. He had to go pick it up. Meanwhile, the next day he gets back to me, tells me I can come see the car. So we make a deal on the car. I look at the car, check it out, and we agree on a price, and I proceed to purchase the car. Well, he told me that the car didn't have a title. He didn't have the title for the car. He had no paperwork. So before I gave him the money, I did my due diligence. I took a copy of the VIN number. I called my licensed vehicle registration place in my town there where I lived, had them run the VIN, and it came back clear. It hadn't been reported stolen. It was out of the system, and the car, I think, hadn't been registered since like 2004. So it was long out of the system. So bought the car, brought it home. Kind of sat for a little while. I didn't really do much with it at first. I originally was just going to, flip it. I was just going to sell it. I just kind of bought it to make a profit on it. And then, I'm a Volkswagen guy, as you guys know, so I decided to keep it and do stuff to it. So I think it was a month or so, month or two maybe, and I finally went down and registered the car. And what helped me with that is when I was cleaning out the car, there was paperwork and a bunch of stuff in the car. I found in the car an application for lost title that had a signature on it. So someone had already applied for or got the application for a lost title, and it had the owner's signature on it. So I was like, perfect. This is all I need. I can go register it. Took that down to my state registered license, vehicle license guy, and went through the process, filled out all the paperwork, and got a California title issued to me in my name. So everything was good to go. I did some work on the old motor that was in the car. Unfortunately, the car had a raised deck lid on it, and it sat out in the rain for years. Also, the windows were down for like 10 years or however long it sat. And water got in the motor, so the motor was locked up solid. It would not roll over, wouldn't turn. I eventually freed the motor up and got it to run, but the rods knocked so bad that I just junked it. It was complete trash. There was nothing I could do with it. I kind of drove it around the block, and it knocked and smoked and made a bunch of noise. The carburetors were junk. They were corroded. I couldn't get it. So needless to say, I took the old motor out and just junked it. So moved to Arizona. Car sat here for a few months, 5-6 months before I really got into it, and then decided I wanted to start working on it again. So I did a deal with a guy that had that 2332 turbo motor in his sand car. And you guys know I do Honda swaps and sand rails, so I wanted the motor for my Bug. I wanted his VW engine, and he had put an ad up looking to sell the motor or trade it because he wanted to do a motor swap in his sand car. So I hit the guy up. We do the trade deal. I do a complete Honda swap in his sand car, J35 headers, ECU, wire harness, all the fab work, everything. I put it in his car, and then I get that 2332 turbo. So I literally wasted no time as soon as that car was finished, getting that turbo motor in my Bug. So put my motor in the car. You guys have seen it on the channel, drove it around, and that brings us to last night when I get a knock on the door. So from what the officers told me, what's going on here is somehow, some way that car was being stored somewhere for a extended amount of time. Who knows why or what, you know, I don't know. But apparently the guy who originally owned the car went to wherever it was stored, or went to whoever was storing it for him, and said he wanted the car back. So the guy said, okay, no problem. I need to clear out some space in my yard for you to pick your car up. Call me tomorrow or the next day or what have you. And when that guy went to go pick his car up, it wasn't there. And the guy said, well, you know, I guess it must have got stolen last night or what have you. So that's kind of the story I got from the police. I've owned the car, like I said, titled in my name for over 2 years, or just around 2 years. I think it was November of 2020 when I bought it. I'll have to look back in my records. But the car was reported stolen like 12 days ago. So I guess when they went to go pick the car up and it wasn't there, the guy went to the local police department, whether it be Lake Elsinore, Corona, wherever the guy was from. I bought the car in Corona, and reported the car stolen. They ran the paper trail, and it comes back registered to me. And as you guys saw from the little video clip that I'm going to post right here. All right, guys, you'll have to excuse me for the light here, but you guys are never going to fucking believe this one. Turns out that my 67 that I bought 2 years ago, after I just put this big turbo motor in it, I get a visit from these guys. This is Mesa Police Department. And turns out that my car is stolen. We're gonna hand it over to the tow company, and we're gonna have to go and contest it. And as you guys have seen, I've done a ton of work to this car. I put my big turbo motor in this car. Unfortunately, they won't let me take it out, but it is what it is. And we're gonna have to fight for it. So, you know, guys, that's just what we'll do. This is absolutely insane. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. It's insane. I mean, I get it. I understand how it happened and how it could have happened. And to be honest with you guys, I'm a car guy. I'm an enthusiast, just like a lot of you guys are that watch my channel. And I honestly really feel for the original owner of the car. If it was my car, I'd want it back too. Now, mind you, when I got the car, wait for this airplane. Mind you, when I got the car, it was not in the greatest of condition. The windows had been down for who knows how many years. The interior was destroyed. It was full of rodents, dead rodents, droppings everywhere. The headliner was destroyed. There was rodents living in the headliner. I had to evict them and rip all that out. I mean, it was a process I went through to clean this car out. I pressure washed the inside of the car. And then, as you guys have seen on the channel, I slowly started getting stuff for the car. I put a set of bumpers on it. I put brand new West Coast metric window moldings in it, a new windshield, just a slew of other little things here and there to make the car roadworthy. Went through the brakes, just a bunch of stuff, and then put in my 2332 turbo motor. So where we're at right now is the car's gone. The car's sitting in a locker. Some sort of a lockup. It's not in a city impound yard. I think it's in an evidence locker in a cage somewhere here in Mesa. And from what I understand, I'm going to have to go to court and try to fight for it. So what I told the police last night is, being a car enthusiast, I honestly really feel for the guy who originally owned the car. Alls I want back is my motor. If I can just get my motor back out of the car, he can have the car. I'll sign over the title. I'll do whatever, they need me to do in order just to get my motor back, because I feel bad for the guy who lost his car. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm supposed to hear back from the police department today to find out some court information. And I actually asked that the officer reach out to the owner of the car and let him know that I'd be willing to not contest it and just walk away as long as I can get my motor back. And then I've provided them with all the information. You know, the guy I bought the car from, the ad that he posted on Facebook Marketplace. So guys, let this be a warning to you. I'm telling you, don't buy a car without a title, I guess. This is the first time this has ever happened to me. I've bought in a lot of cars that had, you know, iffy paperwork. And by iffy, I mean, you know, they had lost the title or filled out an application for lost title or what have you. And there is a process for you to legally register these vehicles, especially like abandoned vehicles, stuff like that. You can obtain those cars legally. And as far as I know, I did everything right. So, you know, like I was telling the police officers last night, I'm not that guy. I'm not that kid that's going to get upset and scream and yell and, you know, whatever. I'm just a car enthusiast and I love cars. And I believe that I did everything right. Unfortunately, you know, you guys saw what happened. They took the car. So hopefully I'm not out my motor. That's going to be, at this point, probably up to a judge to decide. I've got plenty of documentation, you know, proving that I own that motor, how I got it, where it came from, and then I have all the paperwork and documentation from when it was originally built and rebuilt. So hopefully that'll all sway in my favor. So anyways, that's about it, guys. That's the whole story. As far as I know, like I said, I should hear back from them today on the court information. The car's in a secure location, so hopefully nothing happens to the motor. You saw that it's got no deck lid. It's, you know, it's got a big turbo hanging out the back of it. So I'm hoping nothing happens to it. It probably shouldn't. You know, the guy said, he told me it was in a secure location in a lockup. So, you know, I may be repeating myself a bunch, but this is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. I mean, listen, I've had the police knock on my door for plenty of automotive stuff, making noise, you know, stuff like that, but never for a stolen vehicle. This is just blew me away. So anyways, guys, let this be a lesson to you. Let me take that back. Don't let this be a lesson to you. I bought a car without a title. A lot of people do it. It happens. And there are legal ways of you know, getting it registered. There are people that really lost the title. I've lost titles to cars that I've owned and had to sell it without the title with an application for lost title. Excuse me. Plenty of times I've done that. I actually had a situation where our house was robbed years ago and they stole our fire safe, a little fire safe, and it had all of my vehicle's titles in it. So a couple of them I had to go retitle, but a couple of those vehicles I had sold with an application for lost title, because lost and or stolen title, because the titles had been stolen. So it does happen. It is a legal process. I guess we're just going to have to keep following that legal process to figure out what's going on and whether or not I get my motor back, or the whole car back for that matter. So I guess what's in my favor is that the court that we have to go to is here in Arizona. I don't have to go to California because the car's here and I live here. So the guy who owned the car is going to have to come out here to Arizona. But man, I know that they said that the owner of the car had found me somehow on YouTube and watched my videos. So dude, honestly, man, I hope you're watching this video. I hope you see this. I honestly feel for you. I know your car was apparently now stolen. Like I said previously in the video, man, if you're watching this, all I want's my motor back, man. You can have the car. I'm a fellow enthusiast. I know you're a fellow enthusiast. And they told me that you wanted to work on the car as like a father-son project. So that really tugs on my heartstrings. I'm that kind of guy. You guys know I have a lot of cars. I do a lot of stuff. And I would hate it if the situation was reversed and this happened to me. So like I said, man, if you're watching this, all I want's my motor back, and you know, we're square. So anyways, guys, that's the story. I know you guys have seen it all over my social media. I just wanted to put this quick little video up on YouTube and tell everybody what's happened, and we'll keep you guys updated on what happens and whether or not I get the motor back or the car back or what have you. But in the meantime, guys, make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. Thanks for watching.